Hello, I am John Najarian, and RebelCon 2022 is almost here. We do have a virtual pass. The virtual pass gives you full access to everything, all the streams, the live trading sessions, all of our fabulous keynote speakers. So to learn more about what's going on at RebelCon 2022, whether you're in person or virtual, check out marketrebellion.com/Dallas. Welcome back, folks. I am John Najarian, and this is 3 at 3. Separate them a little bit. 3 at 3, where we bring you unusual activity. And today had a return to halftime report. Want to thank Dom Chu and all the production staff, as well as the other members who participated. Brenda Vingello, Shannon Scotia, and Jim Lebenthal. It's great to be on with all of them, and of course, Dom Chu. So we're here for unusual activity, which is large call buying. You heard me talk about these. I'll try to go a little more in depth since I have a little more time on this program. I'll go into why, when they're buying upside calls, which calls do I buy to participate and why. If you're a stock trader, you would just run right along with the calls and buy stock. If you are a stock trader and it's a put, that's negative. Not negative that you're trading stock, but it would be a bet that the market's going lower. And so if you're somebody trading just stock, you would short the stock, I suppose. That's why I like options so much more, because I take less risk owning a put than I would shorting the stock, because stocks get occasionally taken over. We've seen that this week. When a stock gets taken over and it pops 40 or 50% sometimes, that is a very painful ride for the stock trader. It would be bad for the put owner, but not nearly as painful because the put can only go to zero and perhaps you paid $1, $1.50 for that put. Whereas the stock going up 20, 30, 40% could be life-changing depending how large you were in that short position. With that said, let's explore some unusual option activity. There's those people I was on with, as I say, Dom Chu in the stripes. I guess he's a Yankees fan since he's wearing pinstripes. Brenda Vingello and Shannon Scotia, myself, winking, in case you didn't know which one it was me, and Jim Lebenthal. Good friends all, and I thought they did a great job bringing information out to you, the viewers, and sharing it with me. Let's see. The Rebel's Edge is the show that Pete and I do Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 3 days a week. I'll be doing it from the New York Stock Exchange next week. That will be fun. And not done the show live from the New York before. I'm sure there'll be some of my friends from New York wandering by in the background, waving and so forth, but it'll be fun to be back on the New York. I've been there once in the last 2 years. So going back to New York for a couple conferences, the SALT conference, Anthony Scaramucci's event, the Battlefin conference, Pete and I are part owners of that, and the Jet Net, which is a private aviation specialty conference, all going on next week in New York. So Rebel's Edge, Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays. We do it at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Encourage you to watch. And again, thank you for all the nice comments and how much you've built up the audience for this show. Let's take a look at some of the trades from this week, shall we? Kohl's is up better than $1.20 from our entry yesterday. KSS is the symbol. I showed you guys the chart, showed you why we thought it might be moving. This is one that people believe at some point may be taken over. If you're somebody who believes that and you think that maybe on at or near the 52-week lows, it's a good place to put on some bullish trades. Certainly that's what somebody thought that was buying those calls yesterday. And today they are certainly reaping some big rewards. Now, if you're a stock investor, let me contrast that for you as I like to do. If you're a stock investor, you're up 3.3%. So if you put, for instance, 1,000 share position on, you made $1,200. Congratulations. $29,000 investment yields you $1,200. What would you say if I said that buying the at the money call, we made more money and invested a heck of a lot less? That's why options are so popular, because you can put that same, if you were willing to put 29,000, God knows you could buy thousands of options. But if you were just putting a couple $100 down, you could end up with a 30 call that tracks the performance of that upside move in the stock and makes you money. You want to learn more about it? Go to marketrebellion.com/get started. All right. Also talked about Antero Resources, oil and natural gas in the Appalachian area. AR is the symbol. 38.68 was the stock. It's up about $1.20, just like the other one. And 8,100 of these calls means 810,000 share equivalent of stock. And they are betting that it goes to 45 or higher, or at least makes a pop between now and the third Friday in October. So I like where we're sitting here. I will be selling upside calls against this position shortly. Keep an eye on crude oil because it was up over 3% during the regular session today. Our virtual RebelCon 2022 is part of the Dallas experience. If you're not able to be there in person, by all means, thousands of you can get the virtual pass, and you get all of the main stage presentations at RebelCon 2022. Just go to marketrebellion.com/Dallas to learn more. You can see who the speakers are. You can see what the agenda is. September 21st through 24th, virtual RebelCon, Dallas, Texas. Go to marketrebellion.com/Dallas and then sign up for the virtual if you can't be there in person. All right, Colgate Palmolive. They were buying options and October 80 calls. You see that 14,000, that's 1.4 million share equivalent. That's a big trade. We like to follow those big trades. They were buying those calls because the stock was 77.5 and they're buying the October 80 calls. So they think 2.5 point rally. Yeah, easy between here and October. Not guaranteed, but easy. If we have a couple days of these 3% rallies in crude, it'll get there like that. Just kidding. This is Colgate Palmolive, not crude oil. For those of you who do follow the symbols on the futures side, CL is the symbol for crude oil, but in stock world, it is Colgate Palmolive. So upside calls, 80 strike, 77.58. Take a look. If you're a stock trader, you might buy the calls or the stock. If you're an option trader, you're going to do options and you're probably going to sell a call against a call at some point to lock in some profits. There's again our group that's going to be down at RebelCon and more. This is just our speakers starting this time. I'll start. How about this? Right to left. CJ Reichel, Matt Montemayor, Bill Johnson, myself, my brother Pete, Mike Yamamoto, former business editor at the San Francisco Chronicle, Ryan Mastro, floor trader extraordinaire and our chief option strategist, and our chief technician, AJ Monty. All of us will be there along with Bryn Talkington, Tom Lee, as well as Brian Sullivan. How could I forget you, Brian? I can't. Brian Sullivan. We will all be there. It'll be a fabulous few days. Golfing on the 21st, and then 2 days of live trading and a lot of great lectures. Check it out, marketrebellion.com/Dallas. All right, Wendy's. We talked about it on the show because the stock all of a sudden, just as we came on air at 12 o'clock Eastern, pop. Look at that pop. It was foretold by the call buying. You want to see that call buying? All right, there it is. Call buying. And they were buying calls. As you see, 12:03 is when we reported this, just 3 minutes into the show. And there's that big spike. You can see the volume spike. You can see the price spike. They're buying the November 20 calls. Now, here's what's really interesting, folks. Those November 20 calls, they traded 40,000 plus of those. That is an awful lot of calls, especially against a backdrop of the entire month of August. It traded less than 30,000 calls through the entire month. So do you think something might be going on in here and it leaked? Well, something's going on. And obviously some people already reaped big rewards. Those calls spiked from $1 to almost $2. And as you see, the upside for a 20 call, when the stock moves up to about 21, they're worth $1 intrinsically. That's in the money. And then, of course, a little more extrinsic value gets added in there. So you can see why they traded up to almost, I think they traded to $1.90. Bang. That's a nice trade. It worked out well already. And we only locked in a little bit of that profit so far. We think there's a lot more to come. There's my brother Pete and I on the street in New York. In fact, we're right in Times Square at that point in front of the NASDAQ or close to it. And of course, both of us are on the Rebel's Edge every week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 1 p.m. And we will be at, guess what? Market Rebellion, the RebelCon. Here's our third and final trade. It is Robinhood. September 11 calls. We cited it on the halftime report. There it is, 12,000. That's 1.2 million share equivalent. Big trade in Hood, with Hood trading 1068. So these are about 32 cents out of the money, these September 11 calls. They will expire next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, the 16th. So what are you going to do? Well, if you're me, you bought an at the money call and you intend to sell upside calls against it as we rally. So keep an eye on Hood, HOOD. 12,000 is a very large trade, 1.2 million share equivalent of a $10 stock. You get the idea. It's a $11 million, $12 million trade, worth watching. For more, go to marketrebellion.com/get started. Some people ask us, gosh, how can I start honing my skills at trading options? Go to marketrebellion.com/get started. That's how, because there we've got education and subscriptions. If you're brand new to this, get the education first. Once you've got a little education, you can start layering in some of the subscriptions, whatever suits you. We have multiple trades a day, single trades a day, single trades a week, whatever fits your schedule best at marketrebellion.com/get started. It's going to do it for me, folks. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bang.